Now let's talk a little bit about changing voltages, right? You deal with a lot of different voltages in your house, right? So we spoke about 208 versus 120, right? And you have 120 volts or 208 volts that come into your home. And the way that we're able to do that is by using a device known as a transformer, right? And so a transformer is capable of stepping voltages up or down. Now remember, watts equals volts times amps. We can't lose power, right? So with something with a higher voltage has lower amperage to provide the same amount of work. And the converse is true. High amps at lower voltage still gets the same amount of work done. And what a transformer does is converts voltage, right, from high volts to low volts, and it also then affects current, right? So by sending in 120 volts and putting a lot of wraps around this metal donut, right? And then on the other side, putting fewer wraps, right? The electricity comes in at a high voltage and leaves at a lower voltage but a higher current, right? So this is an example of a step-down transformer. It takes high voltage in and steps it down to lower voltage. Now you experience that all the time. Here's your cell phone charger. You plug it into a 120 volt outlet and it steps it down to USB voltage, which is 5 volts. Your laptop power supply probably steps your voltage down from 120 volts when you plug it into the wall and steps it down to maybe 12 volts or 15 volts, maybe even as high as 19 volts when you plug it into your laptop so that you can charge your battery. Here's an electronic step-down transformer, and it takes in 230 volts and steps it down to 12 volts, right? This big canister that you'll see on the telephone pole or on the phone or the power pole outside of your house is a step-down transformer that steps the voltage that comes in through this little tiny wire up here that might be 4,000 volts and steps it down to 120 volts so that it can power your home and send power. Transformers can be huge. If you've ever driven past a substation or a power station, they have transformers in there that change voltage from tens of thousands of volts into 4,000 volts so that they can send it to your neighborhood. So a transformer changes voltages. It steps things up and steps things down. But it also maintains its ability to do work. High voltage, right, with low amps still can get the same work done as low voltage and lots of amps. So it is a mathematical relationship.